Howdy folks. It is an amazing day. It's kind of hard to believe, but it's 50 degrees. I think it's December 15th, maybe 16th. I'm not sure. Middle part of December. And it's 50 degrees and it stopped raining. So how do you possibly do anything but head outside for an adventure? So today, I've been out exploring the little community of Lakebay. If you didn't check out last week's video, I'll leave a link for it so you can take a look at it. This week's video looked at the Lakebay Marina and the history behind the lumber mill and eventually the co-op that shipped eggs out of there for the mosquito fleet, and just some pretty neat stuff. But that was the first half of today's adventure that you saw last week. But anyways, this afternoon, I'm trying to get around a point up here to the east beach of Penrose Point State Park, along the shores of Case Inlet, where we'll get a nice view of McNeil Island and maybe some passing boats. But we're gonna do a bit of a salmon bake. What gets interesting though is, in my rush to get out of the house this morning, I grabbed everything I needed except my grill. I've got this fun little portable barbecue that I picked up in the Philippines last year that I've only used a couple of times. That was supposed to be what I used today. Unfortunately, I don't have it. I have a bag of charcoal, but no grill. So hopefully when we get to the beach area that we're gonna use, I can find enough rocks that we can pile some rocks up to make a fire pit, get the charcoal going, and then figure out how to cook up this salmon steak and our pasta. But bear with me, because it is an incoming tide at this point, and I am fighting it every step of the way. This is where we're supposed to be finding our beach. Apparently the king tide is a little higher than I anticipated. I think if I head another half a mile or so farther along the bay, I might be able to get to an area where I think there's a little bit of a sandbar that comes out, and we can use that. But now I'm really starting to fight the tide, and our morning breeze is coming back. And as much as I love this inflatable kayak, it is certainly not designed for a one-man paddling or for fighting wind or currents. This is actually designed as a three-person boat, or like 2 people and a small child. It's been perfect for my wife and I and our son for the last few years, but I'm realizing it doesn't handle quite as well as a nice hard-bottom traditional canoe, which I think I probably need to invest in if I'm going to do some more of these adventures. So if there's any canoe companies out there watching and you'd like to sponsor a couple of Pacific Northwest, South Puget Sound adventures, I'm open to talk. Not exactly a large beach, but I think we're gonna call this home for this afternoon. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup, try and clear out some of the sand and branches and just get a spot where we can put up a fire, dig out my pack, and I'll show you guys what we're gonna do today. One of the benefits of having the inflatable kayak is I've got extra seats because in addition to forgetting my barbecue, I also forgot to pack my chair. I guess I was a little hasty this morning, but I did remember to bring a couple of toys along that were sent to me to try out. I don't normally travel with a table, but I thought, since I'm out on a kayak, you know, weight wasn't really an issue, and this is actually a really lightweight table. So I thought I'd give it a shot. As you can see, it still has the plastic on it. I haven't even pulled it out of the bag, so hopefully all the pieces are here. Looks like oh, that's pretty cool. I think we just set the top and on top of it. Somehow. Oh, got it. Nice. There you go. Who said I couldn't bring some luxury items? All right, so here's what I think we're gonna do. I've dug out a bit of a spot here in the sand. It is really, really wet. I put some rocks around it to try and contain the sand. That way when it dries, it doesn't start falling in on me. And then got my bag of charcoal that was planned for the barbecue. But I think if I just dump the charcoal in there, we can bring it up to temperature and then we can get cooking. Let's see if it works. When we're waiting for that charcoal to warm up, let me show you what we're gonna have today. I borrowed my son's lunchbox. I needed a cooler bag, and this is the perfect size to fit in my backpack. So thanks, Colin. All right, so we are having, in this tube, I've got some angel hair pasta, and we had salmon the other night, and I stole a section of the steak. And I think that's going to be just about enough. So we're going to do angel hair pasta with salmon, and all kinds of goodies in here. And some fresh asparagus. Again, the goal was to grill all of this. I think it's still gonna work. I am also keeping an eye on the tide because I thought the tide had already crested and it was starting to go out, but it's actually still an incoming tide. And I've got about another 3.5 hours until we get the full high tide. It's supposed to be a 13.5-foot tide this afternoon. And I'm kind of running out of beach. So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know, I've got about 1.5 feet above the level right now. So maybe we're already there. I'm not sure. But we might get washed out. So again, while I'm waiting for those coals to warm up, I'm going to actually get a cup of coffee going. And then we'll get our noodles on to boil. And hopefully the noodles will cook up about the same time the salmon is done. And then we'll have a bit of a gourmet feast. Perfect. So today I'm trying, this is a pour over coffee from Batangas that I got in the Philippines last year. And it is super delicious. It's a nice, rich, decadent coffee. And I don't drink enough of it. So I thought this would be a good opportunity. But it is a little messy if I'm not careful. I'm definitely not going to complain about this one. What an amazing day. I'll tell you, it is 50 degrees out. We're the middle of December. I mean, I'm a week and a half away from Christmas, and this is what we have. This is absolutely awesome. Normally, this time of year, it should be raining, cold, freezing at night. You wake up in the morning to ice and frost, and then rain by the afternoon, and it's just dreary and miserable. But every now and then, we get one of these just pretty phenomenal days. It's absolutely magical. And how do you not take advantage of it? Okay, so I think the charcoal is somewhat hot enough. But I've got this little stick that I found that we're going to use to put right over the coals. I've got my little grill. I'm going to set that on top. We're going to put our salmon right there on top of it. The asparagus was supposed to go on the grill as well, but I think I'm going to just lay it around it and we'll let it start to warm up also. I don't like my asparagus too well done. I like to keep it nice and crispy. So this might actually be for the best. Okay, so that salmon is almost done. The skin is nice and crispy and charred. So I just flipped it over so we can get some more of that fat to drip out and hopefully firm up the top. I don't know about you, but I like to eat my salmon nice and rare, but I do like the outside to be crispy. So I'm guessing maybe another 5-7 minutes until it's completely done, which means it's time to get the angel hair noodles going. And for you pasta lovers out there, how are you supposed to salt your water? I've always been told, you want to salt it like it's the sea. Well, got the sea right there. So I didn't bring any salt with me. I'm gonna go grab some water. We're gonna bring it up to a boil, get these noodles nice and al dente, and then with a little luck, the salmon will be done just in time. Oh, okay, so the water isn't nearly as far away as it was when we started. Not sure what time it is, but the tide is still coming in. I think we're gonna be okay. So I've got 500 milliliters of salt water. I'm gonna use the BRS to cook the noodles just because I don't want to have to wait for the charcoal, because I don't think we're gonna have enough tide or beach. I don't think we're gonna have enough beach to pull that off. So nice and simple. Bring the water up to a boil, and we're gonna bring it up to a boil with the noodles in it just to save some time. I stole the paper towel tube from my kitchen this morning so I wouldn't break my noodles. And it looks like it was successful. Nice and simple. A little bit of butter. A whole lot of Parmesan cheese. And mix it all up. Salmon steak. Asparagus. And there we have it. A meal fit for a king and a view to boot. I wish my camera would do this justice, because Mount Rainier is straight ahead of me and it's starting to break through the clouds, but unfortunately I don't think the iPhone camera is going to pick it up. That's a shame, because man, is it beautiful. And this salmon, this turned out so good. I was expecting it to be okay. I did not expect it to be this phenomenal. A pleasant surprise. This is so good. Just the rich smokiness. I've got just a really light rosemary, sage, salt and pepper on it. Nothing too extravagant. So the salmon speaks for itself. And then mix it with those buttery Parmesan noodles, and couldn't ask for a better lunch. But what I do need is more time, because I am almost out of beach. I've got about maybe about a foot until it's completely gone. So I am going to eat up, and then we'll move on. So I'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes. All right, I am all packed up. We got our fire pit is gone. The beauty of having salt water right here is I was able to dump a ton of water in it, make sure everything was cool to the touch, hide the fact we're ever here, and we are good to go. And just in time too, because I have ran out of beach. So I'm gonna head out that direction. I'm gonna head back around the point. I've got 2 points that I've got to get around before I can get back into Mayo Cove, which is where I launched the boat in the first place. And I've got about another hour, maybe an hour and a half, until the tide turns and starts to go out again. if it's an outgoing tide and I'm trying to get back in, if there's any kind of a breeze, I'm not gonna make it. So I'm gonna climb into the boat, get paddling away before I get stranded here for the night. If you folks want to see more adventures like this, where I'm actually out on the water, leave some comments below and let me know. I would love an excuse to be able to pick up a canoe and go out and do some serious paddling this coming season. As much as I love my inflatable kayak, it's just not suited for any kind of a heavy weather or water, and I just don't feel comfortable doing any really major trips in an inflatable. So it would be a bit of an investment, maybe a sponsorship from a canoe company, I don't know. Any canoe folks out there watching, let me know. Send me a canoe, we'll go do some adventures. But that's it for me, folks. Until next time, I hope to see you out there on the trail soon. Let's go for a walk, or maybe a paddle. Getting more and more graceful as this day goes on. All right.